Yo, what's going on, everybody? As always, it is Mr. Young.
And it's foreign in the building in your area.
Okay, a reference to the fact that it was Blackpink weekend this past Saturday and Sunday at the National Stadium, and your boy was in the area.
Oh man.
It was not just hot because the Blackpink were in the area, but also it's been too hot, bro, these couple of days. How are you hanging up, man?
Bro, I've just been cuddled in at home trying to put two fans. Even right now, I got two fans facing me, bro. I cannot, bro. The weather is crazy.
Okay, everybody, please. I know I sound like an uncle, your granddad, but please hydrate, drink lots of water. Don't give yourself a headache or migraine or anything like that.
Yo. Did you get a migraine from last night's concert, bro? Are you doing okay, bro?
Bro, the whole of Saturday, right, when I went to the concert, I had a throbbing headache from the start of the day, because I think I didn't drink enough water. So today I'm going to spam water.
Dangerous, bro. And were you part of the clique that was like shoving their phones up in the air, or were you like...
Okay, a little bit of context. Like if you are on TikTok, right, everybody is complaining about the fact that they paid $300 to $600 for the standing tickets. You know, like they want to be in the mosh pit to dance, right? And everyone had their phones up. So essentially, you're not looking at Blackpink, you're looking at Blackpink through other people's phones.
Oh my god, I saw the S6E12 memes already, bro. They are fast, man, with the comments. So sad.
Take it from this old man who has been to many concerts in the past. First of all, you know, I'm too tired to go and dance, especially not in this heat. But if you get the regular seats, you're on a slope and therefore you get a good view no matter what. Even if the fella in front of you has his handphone up, you can still see. So sometimes you don't necessarily need to be up front and center.
Yeah, hey, Mister, I want to share something as well. While you were out at the concert, having your own fun, I was having a bit of fun on my own, bro, and then got a bit of GrappleMAX linked to it, bro.
Okay, wait, hold on. I don't want to hear about you grappling yourself on a Saturday night.
No, bro. Don't get it twisted, bro. It's nothing to do with it. Okay. Funny story, quick story. So yeah, Saturday night, like me and my girl had nothing to do, right? And then for some reason, we ended up at a rooftop bar party / thingy. It was like at Capital Spring. It was some like 51st floor bar lah.
Nice.
And then you know what's the most random? So we had like this super awesome view of like MBS. And it was like R&B vibe. I think
romantic,
we just wanted to go out and about, right?
Bro.
And also because I think we a bit FOMO because like everyone's having a party for Blackpink, but we got nothing to do, so just go for this. Sure. And guess who I saw over there, bro?
Who?
Wow, looking fly, looking like he's ready. Guess.
Can I guess? Is it LK? Because, you know, he seems like the sort of like fly guy, go out, hang out. No?
Yeah, funnily enough, it's not him lah. I think he's like on the crypto winter right now, chilling lah. Maybe
crypto winter? What's that mean? Crypto not doing well.
Bro. Hibernation.
Oh, okay. Greg.
Oh,
and boss.
Greg, I wouldn't like imagine Greg to be a party. Is he a party guy? I'm not sure, but
actually,
you know what?
Okay, so, go ahead. Tell me.
Alright, dressed to the nines, ready to socialize, ready to put on a show.
Yeah.
That's the hint, bro.
Oh, showtime!
Yeah,
Val.
oh my god. Hey, slow lah, bro.
Yeah. It took me a while. I was like, put on a show. Okay. And your fellow, quote-unquote, wrestler whom you did music for and stuff like that. So, quite fitting lah, bro.
Bro, the funny thing is we were like waiting to go into like the lift that goes all the way up, right? Yeah. So I was with my girl, right? And then suddenly she was like, "Hey, Van, got your wrestler friend here." And I said, what you mean? And then you know why? Like exactly 1 second later, hey, foreign.
Oh.
I turned around, oh shit, it's showtime, Val. So like dressed, so the event, the team was like all white affair. So everyone was like dressed like in freaking white. So this guy walking around with his like collar or the shoulders all ready to party. I was like, oh, okay, if Showtime is here, then it should be quite a party.
Is Showtime Inc. Singapore's Ric Flair?
Ooh, interesting. Well, I don't know whether Statement from SPW will have something to say about that, but indeed, yeah.
I feel like Statement would be a different breed because, you know, like Ric Flair, he's got the vibe and everything, but like Statement, he's a big guy, you know. Who was a big guy wrestler who also lived the quote-unquote life, LA Knight,
Oh my, I look like the kind of guy who would you see in the club.
Yeah, looking jacked to the nines and stuff like that. Anyway, we're talking about GrappleMAX here today because we have a special guest. We're gonna bring him into the show in just a few moments, but it's gonna be a fun weekend. Things are heating up in the local wrestling scene. I'm not talking about the damn weather, but just okay. Can we just say that this has to be one of the, if not the best event names in recent times?
Agreed. Undisputedly agreed.
GrappleMAX settle outside. We're going to preview it and chat with one of the participants as well. By the way, if you're here joining us on the premiere right now, obviously this is pre-recorded, or you're watching the video right now, you can always check out the links. We'll put up the links for more information on anything, including our Discord page if you want to come and chat wrestling with the entire community, and our Patreon page as well if you want to drop us a bit of support beyond listening to the podcast, which we appreciate so much already. We appreciate your time, but if you want to hook a brother up, as it were, you can check out our Patreon page, different tiers of benefits and whatnot. Just whatever you're comfortable with is great for us.
Oh, for sure. And you know, there's a reason why we started our preamble with Blackpink, bro.
Yes.
You know why, bro? Because from one oppa to another, right? There's a reason why we say that, bro.
Okay, yes. I don't know though. I feel like he might be quote unquote rolling his eyes hearing us say this, because from what I've heard from the grapevine, what I hear is he wants to share this image of the oppaness. We shall find out from the man himself right now. Jordan, welcome to the show, my guy.
What's up, everyone? Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, this is the first time, finally, by the way, that you've been on Kick to the Gut. How are you? And actually, real question, are you a fan of K-pop?
The fact that you have to ask that question, I think it already says a lot, yeah.
Okay, but no, but are you, like, for the record, are you or not?
It's not my kind of thing. I don't really watch K-pop or like K-drama related kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just not my thing.
Oh, all the heartbreak out there for all those fans who have been calling you oppa all this time, huh?
I'm sorry. It's just not my hobby. I don't watch that kind of thing.
Actually, right, when Young, you said that for all the fans, right? I think, right, unfortunately, we have to take credit because I think we were the first one that called him oppa.
Yeah, I distinctly remember that during my debut. I'm pretty sure you were the one that came up with the oppa thing and the eyebrow thing.
Right.
Both of which.
I mean, look at him. He's a handsome fella. He looks like he belongs in BTS or one of those K dramas and stuff like that. Could you really blame us? Could you truly blame us? And plus, you got the whole badass like martial artist vibe and everything. I think it worked, but let's today find out about the real Jordan. This is what we're here for, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Just to clear the air, promote the match, everything, and also show off a bit of my personality, yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Okay, first question, right? If we always start with like first time guests, right? Tell us about your introduction to wrestling. Were you a fan growing up? What was your first wrestling memory, Jordan?
My first memory. Do you guys remember this tag team called Jericho?
Oh yes,
Chris Jericho and the Big Show. Yes,
Chris Jericho and the Big Show. That was like my first ever exposure to wrestling.
Wow.
It was like, I think it was on an episode of SmackDown, and I
Yeah.
saw like just this absolutely huge guy, like Big Show, and tag teaming up with Jericho. And Jericho was so packed with personality. It's like already an instant hit with me. So yeah, that was my very first exposure to wrestling. And that random episode of SmackDown featuring Jericho.
Can I just say, every time we ask this question now, especially to the younger wrestlers, I feel like a million years old. Because when I think of first time, at least I'm thinking maybe Attitude Era, go a bit back maybe the Hogan and the Macho Man era, but no, dudes like Chris Jericho and Big Show. I'm like, damn, I feel old.
How old were you? Do you remember like how old you were when you first saw it?
I think I was like 9 years old, I think.
Wow.
8 or 9 years old. Super young. Yeah, I was exposed to it at a very young age, yeah.
So you randomly just saw it on TV, is it? Or somebody?
Yeah. Like it was on an episode on ESPN. Like Malaysia have several ESPN channels. So like my dad just flicked to a random ESPN channel and like saw wrestling going on. And I was like, hey, just stay on this channel. It looked very interesting. Yeah. So I continued watching it.
What was it that caught you with the whole wrestling thing? Was it the physicality? Was it the theatrics, the presentation, or maybe combination of everything?
So interesting thing was that I was into wrestling, but I never really got into it. Like it never
Oh.
told me like, oh, I want to do this, like
Right.
even just for fun. It was just something that watch occasionally because it was very entertaining. So I fell off of wrestling during like the John Cena era, if you guys remember that.
Yes.
It was like a few years of John Cena. I enjoyed him a lot, even as a kid. Like he appealed so much to kids with his like never can die attitude, very babyface fire. But I got so sick of watching every single episode with him doing get beat up and then come back through impossible odds. Even as a kid, like that didn't seem like that wasn't what I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch like good wrestling. He was a great personality, but in terms of wrestling, he never really fulfilled that side for me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So this
But
would be
then-
the so-called like quote unquote PG era dark ages when everything sort of fell off when wrestling became really unpopular. So I think you weren't the only one sort of going Super Cena is getting too big of a push.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like I think at that period of time it wasn't like what the mainstream was looking for in terms of wrestling isn't cool anymore because we're looking at this what is basically a man child like being a representation for the entire wrestling community, which is not a good look. Yeah, so that was my opinion at the time
It's
anyway.
don't you think it's very funny that you were a child during this period, right? And John Cena was supposed to cater to kids, but even some kids were rejecting him as well.
Yeah, I found it super ironic. To be fair, I had like very different tastes when I was a kid. As a kid, I was growing up like enjoying martial arts, so maybe that's why I look towards more like on the more wrestling side of things rather than just personality. Yeah, so maybe I was different in that case. So like yeah, I got into that and I fell off. And what got me back into wrestling and seeing it as an art form was watching a random episode of like top 10 wrestling lists that top 10 wrestlers you never heard of, and that's how I heard of like things like New Japan and Lucha Libre. And what really got me back into wrestling was New Japan, especially when I started following Kenny Omega, and I really got into wrestling for Wrestle Kingdom 11 when Kenny Omega faced Okada. That was like my I got to do this. I have to do this now. That was like my match. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
It's
That was like-
interesting. Yeah, go ahead.
That was just a couple of years ago, right? That was like 2017 only. So I would say that you were just still a teenager when that drew you back in.
Yeah, I was 18 at the time. Yeah. So
Let me
it's still
rewind a
considered
little
serious.
bit. Talking about your martial arts background. What martial arts did you do growing up?
Okay, so I was always a very sporty kid. I did football, I did basketball, and then I got really into martial arts when I started with karate at the age of like 10, I think. Yeah, 10. I got a first dan black belt and I stopped there.
Okay. Wow.
And then I started karate, I stopped that, and then when I went to Singapore for poly, I did taekwondo because I wanted to do something
Korean?
sort of related. Korean isn't like the first thing that came to mind.
Come on, Mr. Young.
I know some people in my club that joined taekwondo just purely because it's Korean.
Right.
Yeah, but like I wanted, because it seemed very aesthetic. Taekwondo is all about aesthetics, like the kicks and stuff. It's
Yeah.
always about it's so clean, it's so fast. That's what I wanted to learn. So yeah, that's why I joined taekwondo.
Quick question, right? Because you said that you first saw wrestling in Malaysia. So where was your Malaysian hometown? And like, can you share with us a bit of that journey going to Singapore and how you settled into Singapore life?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So my entire so half of my life I've been in Malaysia, Penang. I don't know if you guys been to Penang before. It's just like little island off, like, sequestered elsewhere in Malaysia. It's quite isolated from Malaysia, yeah. But it's a small island. I've lived there for like 18 years, so I did my primary and secondary school years there.
Wow.
And then I occasionally come to Singapore because my grandma also lives here. My aunt also lives here. Yeah, so Singapore always felt like a second home to me. And then I wanted to do poly and university here, so I've moved here and have been here for like close to 7 years, I think. Yeah, 7 years.
Nice. So your parents are Malaysians, like essentially. And
My
you
parents are Malaysian, yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Do you
Yeah,
see
so it's very
yourself-
funny.
Yeah. Do you see yourself moving back to Malaysia after, like, I assume you're still in school, right? Or are you done with school?
Oh, I just graduated
Oh,
actually.
congratulations.
I have my graduation ceremony in about 3 months. Yeah, so close to
Ah,
graduation. Close to
right.
graduation.
So do you see yourself working in Singapore or going back and then doing the commute thing if you want to do the wrestling here?
I am absolutely not working in Malaysia.
Okay, okay,
No,
fair
not
enough.
not with the current economic state right now. Singapore is just a better choice here.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
okay. This is my very very interesting segue into wrestling, right? So I'm
Mm.
assuming now you saw Kenny Omega, saw New Japan, and like, okay, I'm very interested. What was the process like of like, okay, I want to start training, and how do you find GrappleMAX? How do you discover GrappleMAX?
Hmm. Okay, so I started looking for wrestling in Singapore because I was in my final year of poly,
Mhm.
and I couldn't like commute back to my poly to do taekwondo classes anymore because it was just I was outside of that time frame, like doing lesson time and after work. So
Mm.
I wanted to do something to like keep my fitness up. So I had a choice. I was actually deciding between, okay, maybe I should take up BJJ because I wanted
Oh,
to learn more martial arts.
right.
Maybe I transitioned to being a MMA fighter instead.
Mhm.
So like it was either BJJ or professional wrestling, which I never even really considered. I think like just random day I was like, is there like a pro wrestling scene in Singapore? Then I
Yeah.
just like Googled search pro wrestling in Singapore and see what came up.
Mm.
And surprisingly, several results came out. Yeah, it was like GrappleMAX and SPW.
Mm. It's
Okay.
interesting because like two of the sports you just mentioned, like pro wrestling and MMA, right? They have they share a viewer base, but also once you become one, like there's this weird divide, like oh you're the MMA guy, oh you do the pro wrestling, you do the fake stuff, I do the real stuff, right? There's like sort of always that one or the other. Okay, I wonder in an alternate universe, in the multiverse, right? If there's a version of Jordan that did MMA instead and would be looking at the pro wrestling version of Jordan going, what are you doing, bro? Or
I
are you
mean,
the type of guy who will like look at both and see the merit in both?
I think there's a lot more like interconnectedness between the two communities. I wouldn't
Mm.
say it's gated. I
Yep.
know some people are both into MMA and also into wrestling. They
Mm.
understand like the fundamental differences, but also the similarities. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, at the end of the day, it's still athleticism.
Sure.
That
Yeah.
it remains the core for both sports. I see MMA as like a very grueling, very demanding sport because I've also did competitive taekwondo. I've also did competitive karate,
Mm.
so I understand the training like that goes into it. And pro wrestling is the same thing. It's like a
Mm.
training camp also that you have to go for each match, each show. There's no difference in that. It's just what is the end result? The end result for MMA is that you want to beat the other person. For pro wrestling, you want to give the audience what they want. You want to entertain the audience. You also want to promote yourself and show the best version of who you are.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Hmm.
Mm.
Quick, sorry, quick question, right? For your transition, right? Because like you kind of like already have that martial arts background, and then when you discovered that hey, there was like a few wrestling promotions, right? Was it something about GrappleMAX that caught your eye particularly? Was it the aesthetic? Was it the Japan influences? What was it?
Yeah, so I think the Japan influence was definitely a main factor. Dick Togo is the main advisor for
Mm.
GrappleMAX, and he has made waves. He's a true legend. He's just a legend. Yeah, so like I think that's what really drew me into GrappleMAX was the Japanese influence. Besides that, it was also like the set curriculum that GrappleMAX provides you. You have
Right.
your grade one, you have your grade twos and grade threes. So it was that sort of structure which I really enjoyed. I think it was because, from my martial arts background, with the whole
Mm.
belt system,
Yep.
like, you go from white belt, then blue belt, that gave me a lot of like similarities
Mm.
between like normal traditional martial arts and also GrappleMAX. So
Mm.
that's what really drew me in.
So
And it
so
was also like the community, yeah. The
mm.
community is just amazing.
So before making your choice, did you like go and do the homework, or did you just see GrappleMAX and oh, this is what you offer? Okay, I'm sold. Or did you
Oh
actually like
yeah.
do the whole comparison thing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the same if you like go to any like martial art gyms like
Mm.
Evolve MMA, Onyx MMA, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You always want to go for that trial class and see like what the testimonials are.
Right.
So
I see.
for me, like I watched the matches for both GrappleMAX and SPW. I was like, oh damn, these
Hmm.
wrestlers are great.
Yep.
I was like, what their training is like, how are they doing all this? So I
Mm.
went for a trial class at GrappleMAX, and like for my first class, they really took care of me.
Mm.
They made sure I took how to take a normal bump. how to even roll in the first place. Yeah. So all that was already like pre-structured for you for GrappleMAX. I'm not sure how they do it in the SPW, but for GrappleMAX, it was like, oh, they already have all of this sorted out for your first class. No matter what your skill level is, no matter like what background you are able to like do some pro wrestling stuff for your first lesson, which I thought was really great.
Right. So, what was the first local match that you watched? Do you remember what that match was?
Live or recorded?
Live, sure. Because
Live.
we all know it's a different vibe when you see it in person versus when you see it live.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
recorded, right? Yeah.
So I've never watched a live wrestling show before I joined GrappleMAX.
Oh,
Like
Wow.
I didn't go watch it because like I wasn't even aware. Yeah, I just joined in without seeing any shows because like I already watched it on YouTube. I already get the gist of it.
right.
So for my first wrestling show, I was actually working as like a young boy for GrappleMAX. I think it was like GrappleMAX 9, if I'm not wrong.
What year was this? Do you recall?
It was 2019, I think. Yeah, 2019.
I remember.
So you start.
Yeah, I remember the first time we heard about or saw you was that COVID show, wasn't it? So, was that your debut? I'm trying to remember.
Oh yeah. No, my debut was actually on GrappleMAX Anniversary 10, I think. It was a tag team match with Gerald, if you guys remember him, or Jackson.
Of course, Gerald.
Jackson,
Yeah.
right.
Gerald, he's doing like MMA stuff now. It was a tag team match with him against Guru and Irfan, I think. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Late 2019, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, late 2019.
Yeah. Because I remember our timelines didn't cross because the last time I was like I did a short stint in a GrappleMAX and we did that whole debut match thing. That was like Marina Bay Slam in 2019.
Oh yeah,
And
I
then-
saw that.
Yeah. So I've never had a chance to like meet you officially or like see you in training. So like the first time we saw you was literally like probably the COVID show, and I think that was our first comments on you, right?
Yeah. I joined at a very interesting timing. It was like a few months right before COVID happened.
Yeah. Really
Yeah,
was.
so that was kind of like big shocks, yeah.
How did you keep the momentum going since like you just joined and then the whole world shut down? Did you continue with training? How was that process?
Yeah, so I don't remember you guys seeing like when I first joined GrappleMAX, but I was extremely skinny. I think I weighed at around like 60 kilograms. So I was like very skinny, very lanky. So for like during the whole COVID shutdown, like I wanted to keep my fitness up and everything. So like I just sort of like did gym at home, just really focusing on it. And it sort of like gave me motivation to like continue gymming as well because like, you want to look good for the show. You want to have that kind of a, like pro wrestling body aesthetic. So that really kept me going in terms of like, oh, I want to gym, but I also want to prepare for when I make my re-debut, I guess.
Okay, cool.
So, okay, let's fast forward to right now. This upcoming weekend, you'll be facing Christian for the Wrestle Square Cruiserweight Championship. And we'll take a look at the rest of the card with you in just a bit, but let's focus on your match right now. In terms of who you are as a, for lack of a better term, as a character, right? Where do you see this Jordan person? How have you grown since, being the quote-unquote Oppa of the GrappleMAX crew?
Yeah, so that whole Oppa thing is like feels like a mask I have to put on ever since you mentioned that. It's like
I blame
it's sort of like you
Oh,
give the
if you're
audience like
right.
an impression that I'm this very innocent looking guy. I love to meet with people. I have to do all this sort of like Oppa-ish things for them. The cute heart things, whatever. Yeah. You really set that kind of standard for me.
But that's absolutely not you, right? So, I saw your Instagram video that you did, right? It's sort of like, okay, it's time to shed the vestiges of this person that I'm not, right? Talk to us about.
I'm not even Korean.
Oh, right.
So.
Talk
feel
to
like
us
people
about.
forget that sometimes.
Did you talk to Greg about it? Did you go like, okay, I want to be a little bit more like intense and more? Well, I wouldn't say heel lah, but like there's a lot more intensity to your character than before. Am I right?
Yeah. So one thing I really appreciate about GrappleMAX is that they sort of like let you organically grow as a character. So it's not like we're putting this gimmick on you or whatever. We're putting this character on you because we think it suits you. They sort of like look at what you're doing right now. So the things that I did during like my initial matches was that, I did very hard strikes. I like to fire myself up right before anything that I do. And this sort of like translated into my character work, which you see right now, I guess, as like this very intense martial arts striker.
So then talk to us also about that whole thing where, first of all, you got tag teamed up with Christian, right? And then it was sort of that whole, like, I don't want to tag team with you. I want your title sort of a vibe. Like, how did that sort of play out?
So interesting thing was that Christian joined like a few months after I did. So we did like a lot of training together. You know, we know each other quite well because like, you know, we've like chain wrestled together, we trained together, we bled together. So I almost regard him as like a brother in terms of like professional wrestling. But look at it from my perspective, you know, the only reason why he became a champion was that 7 matches into his career, I was inactive throughout the whole thing. Like the whole COVID thing, I just didn't want to do this professional wrestling right now. I wanted to focus on myself. So the only reason he became a champion was that Showtime Inc. just started picking on him.
Right.
Like, that's the only reason why he even had a shot in the first place. He didn't wrestle for it. I don't recall any chances where like, oh, you got a shot now because you beat someone up. He only got a shot because Showtime Inc. underestimated him and like keep going after him. And also because they thought, oh, they could gang on him, like 3-on-1. That's
Right.
it. And he managed to overcome the odds. I respect that. He managed to overcome the odds. But the only reason he's a champ was because I didn't get a shot.
I love this fire. I love the passion that coming through in this very intense monologue that you have right here.
It's a championship. People have to be passionate about it. I've had my eyes set on it the moment I saw it on LK. LK was the champion at the time.
Right.
Then moved hands to Val. And so suddenly it's on Christian because it just managed to fall into his hands because he got targeted by Showtime Inc. I don't see it as a proper champion. It's not a proper champion mentality.
I like the rationale more than anything. Yes, the fire, energy, everything is there, right? But I like the rationale. This is not some convoluted reason why he's upset at Christian, as we can see in certain
people think I'm whining when I say that he doesn't deserve a championship belt. I have a rational mind. I don't see why I'm coming off as delusional. I mean, did you guys watch his recent promo? Christian did for GrappleMAX?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
But
I haven't watched that one. I think they just posted it recently, right?
It was just posted, yeah.
Tell me about it.
He keeps saying that, oh, what have I done to deserve a championship? I'll tell you what I've done. I've done several things to deserve that championship. First off, I've managed to beat Kyle, who's wrestling the freaking main event of the show that we're in. He's wrestling against Big Dave, Gold Dave, Big Dave, Smart Dave, whichever one he is right now. He's probably all three. Smart Dave, yeah. He's in the main event of the show, and I've managed to beat him.
Yep.
I consider that a pretty big opportunity. I've also tag teamed with Dave. Granted, we did lose against Inglorious, but then again, Inglorious at the time was like at the up and up.
Yep.
Ramos managed to get a championship opportunity. Wilson managed to beat Masa. He managed to go against Masa in a freaking competitive match. Like, that's freaking amazing going up against a Japan guy. Then I tag team with Simon.
Yes, recall, yeah.
It was Simon. It was tag teaming with Simon against DJ Kyle. Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah. So all these opportunities that I've had, I think I've proven myself to be a pretty big threat in a competitive division, in the cruiserweight division. Sorry.
Right.
So I don't see why he thinks I'm delusional when I think I have the same, if not better, credentials than him for the freaking Wrestle Square title.
Well, I mean, you're going to get to prove that this weekend. In your ideal world, right? How does this match play out?
Yeah, so it's finally... So let's talk about the match, guy. I think we finally got to that point, yeah. So the opening match would be me versus Christian for the Wrestle Square Cruiserweight Championship. So, I already know how it's going to go. It's going to be a straightforward me kicking the absolute crap out of him.
Love it.
Beating him up, showing that he's not a proper champion, when I finally get to show off my skills in a singles match, finally, in a singles match where I finally get to prove my worth, where I don't have his dead weight when he went up against Eman and Jago. I can finally show off that our styles clash and mine is just plain better. I'm stronger, I'm faster, I'm just smarter than him. The only thing he has is his determination and his connection with the audience. And connection with the audience, that's not gonna help you in a fight. That's not gonna do anything in a championship fight. I don't need to get that fire from the crowd to power up. All I need is myself and my skills.
Nice. I love the confidence, man. I feel like you know that you're gonna win. Like
I don't. It's a guaranteed. It's not a matter of when. I know it's gonna be on the 20th of May when I'm gonna be the new cruiserweight champion. It's just how I'm gonna do it. Am I gonna kick his head off? Am I going to throw him out of the ring? Count out? No, I'm just gonna knock him out. Simple as that. Simple.
Wow.
Awesome. It's not a prediction, huh? It's a spoiler, right?
Huh?
It's
Very
a spoiler, yeah. I've already spoiled it for you. Sorry about that. I already spoiled it, but
Oops. Well, there you go. Dude, I am so looking forward to that. Like you did mention, that will be the opening match. Usually, card subject to change up because I'm looking at the card right now. I thought another match was going to be the first match, but we'll jump into all these other matches. Oh, okay. Very quickly, beyond this, once you become the cruiserweight champion, right? What's next for Jordan, do you reckon? Like, are you going to gun immediately for whoever wins the GrappleMAX Openweight championship, or what's on the horizon?
I'm going to restore the prestige of the title.
Okay.
I've already mentioned it in my promo. Christian, like, he showed fire. He showed that he overcame the odds to become a cruiserweight champion. But that's not champion mentality. You don't just simply become a champion just because you overcome the odds by beating up 3 people with just yourself.
Yeah.
You have to show fire. You have to show passion. And that's what I'm going to show. I want to accept every single challenger that wants to go up against the true cruiserweight or GrappleMAX. Doesn't matter who you are. It can be from India. The original title is from India. So, hey, any Indian wrestlers want to prove your worth? More than welcome to come up, step up, challenge me, make it work.
Gauntlet has been thrown down. All right.
Love it.
Shall we look at the rest of the card right now?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Let's look.
All right. So, okay. I see Crypto Bro LK is going up against Simon Sia for the number 1 contendership. So talking about the championship, you are 100% going to win, right? This weekend. If whoever wins this match will then go up against you. Now, looking at it, like I said, LK versus Simon. What are your thoughts?
So this is definitely a match that I'm going to look very closely when I get back to the locker room with my newly won title. So Simon, he's already someone that I'm quite familiar with. I've tag teamed with him against Carl, so I already know his style. Very unique, high flying. He is one of the most promising wrestlers, I would say. One of the most promising wrestlers in the region. He just does everything so effortlessly. Like no matter what high flying move you tell him to do, he can just do it. Like,
have we seen
he
him in
doesn't
the
even need
previous
to practice.
Right.
Sorry?
Have we seen him in a previous GrappleMAX show?
I recall he's the one that's a bit like Leo Rush, right? He's small size, but he flies around.
Okay.
Yeah, so he has definitely he had his debut match against Greg. His graduation match. Like, insane. He already held his own against like Greg, who's like 10-year veteran or something at this point.
Right.
So Simon is definitely like the guy that you want to look out to. I would say he's like very close to my style as well because he also does striking. He has a great heel. He has a great spinning hook kick.
Right.
Like a black mass. He does strikes. Like, his high flying is just insane. It's just insane, yeah.
But I mean, he is going up against a multi-year veteran in LK, the Crypto Bro, who has been laying low, honestly, for the past couple of, months, maybe a year-ish. What do you think his chances are against a veteran like LK?
Yeah, I mean, you guys are just familiar with LK, right? He's just the guy. He's just the guy. He has been the guy since like I debuted it.
Right.
He's still the guy. So like, in terms of LK, he's just gonna use his experience. He has been in this scene for so long. I'm pretty sure he already knows what to look out for, and he has this like crazy, high flying stuff that he does as well. His spear especially is gonna rip apart Simon if he if he managed to connect with that. I'm sure you guys know perfectly like well, Tosan, how brutal his spear is.
Oh yeah, tell
I
me
mean,
about
Mr.
it.
Young knows.
Tell me
Mr.
about
Young
it, bro.
knows better.
I
hits-
saw it, man. It was freaking brutal.
It hit so hard, I fell the wrong way.
Oh dear
Oh
God.
my
Okay,
god.
okay, that
Look,
was.
no
yeah.
matter how it plays out though, like I want to see Crypto Bro versus Jordan. I mean, I'd also like to see LK versus Christian lah, but we all know that's not going to happen because Jordan's going to win, right?
Absolutely not. I'm not gonna make it happen. It's
Right,
gonna
right.
be me
So-
becoming champion.
So LK versus Jordan is actually a very mouth-watering match to me. Just from the style and the personalities involved as well. So,
Not
Interesting.
overlooking Simon though, but
mm.
do you have a preference for either competitor?
I mean, LK is definitely the harder matchup, right?
right.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's true. Technically.
It's
Yeah.
always going to be scary going up against a veteran, but
Mhm.
I don't care. I'm sure I'm the best cruiserweight in the whole of GrappleMAX and in the whole of region. So it doesn't matter who is going to step up to the plate against me. I will be winning. I will be making my first title defense against either of the two, and I'm gonna make it look easy. Simple as that.
Whoa. That's that championship
Nice.
mentality. I love it. Okay, let's move on to this tag team match. Inglorious versus Mr. D and Ban. How did
Great
Mr.
matchup,
D
great
and
matchup.
Ban get together is my question. Because we know Inglorious, they are a group, they are a faction, right? But where did this marriage come from?
I mean, we always have one of the veterans partner up with one of the young boys. It's
Right.
just a thing that we've done. I mean, it's just to get match experience and also, show the ropes. And
Right,
Mr.
right.
D is like, he has been a vet for also almost as long as Greg, I think.
Right.
Mhm.
It's
So I
always
love
fun.
his heel character, by the way. He's so obnoxious in
Yes.
the ring.
I think
Well,
that's just how he is. It's just how he is in person, probably.
Yeah, he's a super fun guy. Tell us a little bit more about Ban because we're not as familiar with Ban as we are with the rest of the people here.
Yeah. So Ban is one of our newer guys.
Mm.
He's a Cambodian. He has his own Cambodian style with his hand wraps thing and
Yes.
everything. I thought it was always looked cool. It sort of like reminded me of like Muay Thai.
Yeah.
So he wants to do his own Cambodian style thing. He's actually one of our newer guys. I think he only joined like a year and a half ago or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've actually trained with him for a bit. He's great. Yeah. I think he has like the very definition of a babyface fighter when you see him.
Is he more of a striker-based type wrestler then?
I would say it's a combination of both like technical and striking.
Mm.
Yeah, so I would say he does like striking for when he needs it, and then grappling when he thinks like this situation suits him best. So like combination of both. I mean, for like newer guys like him, it's very unpredictable. It's like very much a wild card as to what he can do because he hasn't shown like what he can do in he hasn't shown his full potential. So I think he's
Right.
definitely like a big wild card in this matchup.
Very cool,
Right.
very cool. Interesting that he's from Cambodia. Would you consider him like potentially the first Cambodian wrestler that's out there in the scene?
I don't know any Cambodian wrestlers, so I can't say for that. My knowledge for I don't have that big of a knowledge for the local pro wrestling.
Hey, for all we know, there's a Cambodia pro wrestling out there, okay?
Probably, yeah, probably. It could be NXT right now. It could be in NXT. Who knows?
Exactly, right? We don't know.
yeah.
Okay, so they're going up against Inglorious, who have had like an interesting ride. Greg has sort of taken a little bit of a back seat, I feel. We haven't seen him up there in the high-profile main event matches for a very long time. So right now, where do you see Inglorious as far as a faction is concerned? Because they've sort of been they've been there as a presence, but also not really imposing their will, as it were.
Yeah. I mean, they came off hot, right? They came
Yeah.
out super hot when they debut. And I think past COVID, they've just have been on a very bad losing streak.
Mm.
If you look at their matchups in the past was like super tough.
Yeah.
Like Wilson has had a big losing streak. Ramos also failed to get any like big championship gold under his waist. I was really looking forward to Ramos being a champion, honestly. I was
I
really
remember
disappointed that he
like
wasn't champion.
that tournament. Actually, a lot of people was like thinking that he could be the one that upsets Dave, right,
Dave,
to become
yeah.
a champion.
I think at one point he just became like a babyface to people. He just like became the guy,
Yeah.
the people's champ. Honestly, yeah.
Because of
So,
the
yeah.
fire. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
people enjoyed it.
would you say that this is a must win for Inglorious, considering they are going up against someone who's relatively fresh in Ban?
Mm. Well, they have been saying that it's an easy matchup for them. I mean, like, to be honest, if you look at the matchup, you look at Mr. D and Barnes, they're not like the biggest threat. They haven't been. They're not the biggest threat to Inglorious for like the past few matchups. So I don't. I mean,
Well, then again,
if
like
I'm a
we
betting
said,
man, I would bet it on Inglorious. Is what I would
right,
say.
right.
Okay.
But there's always the wild card, like you said about Ban. You don't know what to expect from him, and of course, Mr.
Absolutely.
D himself is a veteran, so we'll see. We'll see. That should be an interesting match. Okay, talking
I mean,
about. Yeah,
hang on.
go ahead.
I mean, even Emma mentioned that Mr. D hasn't like made any progress since they met as a wrestler.
Sure.
So like, if Eman, who's like been on like super hot rising trend,
Yeah.
I mean, I faced him. Yeah, he's super great. I mean, if he said that about Mr. D, I'm not too like sure about like their winning chances anymore. Honestly, for Ban and D.
Is Mr. D like the Colt Cabana of like the Singapore
What?
wrestling scene? Like,
I mean,
like
that's a
he's-
pretty good comparison. Yeah, I would say.
yeah, like he's just been
That's a pretty
there,
apt comparison.
but like that's it. He's just been there.
But like you can't discount his experience. I mean, he has been
Right.
in this scene for close to a decade. Who knows what tricks he can pull out?
That's
I
true.
don't think we've seen everything in his toolbox. You know,
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean,
it's always like these kind of wrestlers that you have to look out for because
Right.
you don't expect them to just suddenly pull out something. They're not gonna do a conventional wrist lock or like body slam or whatever. You know, they're gonna pull something that you've never seen before, and you're gonna have to adapt to it, which I think is gonna be one of the edges that give them an edge.
I'm just saying
Yeah,
Inglorious shouldn't look past Dr. D and Ban. You know, despite like what we're talking about, how this is quote unquote an easy match for them. It's like that's when you slip up, and you know,
Absolutely, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I would say Mr. D is like a great veteran, but maybe he's more of a QT Marshall kind of veteran than a.
Okay, well, I don't know about that. I actually like Mr. D as opposed to Cutie Marshall. Anyway, that aside, let's talk about the other faction. We talked about how Inglorious have sort of like, you know, gotten a little bit cold recently, right? Showtime Inc. All right, and I know we all have like, especially you foreigner, have some sort of connection with Showtime Inc. Let's talk about Showtime Inc. They are going up against Aussie, who I still
Oi.
maintain are not
Oi.
Australian. Oh, tell us about that match. Okay, so who is representing Showtime Inc. Other than Val?
So from what I've known, it's Showtime, which is Val and also Julian.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think those are the two wrestlers that are going up against Aussie.
I believe Prabhu is still injured. Is he?
Actually, he just recovered. He just came for his first like training session like the other day. So yeah, maybe you'll see more of him in the future. Maybe he'll also interfere in this one. Who knows?
Wow, I mean, gee, them try to get one over with nefarious
Nah,
tactics.
never.
Bro,
Who could
never.
ever?
I won't have.
Who would ever? They're a
yeah.
legitimate business. It's
Right.
Showtime Inc. It's in your name.
Very legitimate. There's four of them. There's two of Aussie. What are Aussies? Can we just call them AAA for crying out loud? What are their chances, knowing that you know Showtime have some little extra help outside?
We call them Aussie to the power of three. I think
Oh,
that's
okay.
like a symbol
Aussie
in our culture. But
Okay.
yeah, Aussie. I mean, like I think in terms of wrestling skill, they're just one of the best in GrappleMAX.
Sure.
Like you see them pull out crazy stuff. Blue Thunder Bomb from freaking Sean, and then YC with his crazy. I still maintain that YC has like best babyface fire that I've seen in any local wrestler. He
Right.
just
He got a
manages.
He got the best hair though. That's for sure.
He has the best area. No one can beat him. That he's unbeatable.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable. But yeah, YC has the best babyface fire that I've seen in any like babyface local wrestler. So I think they went up against Bad Company, who's like a tag team legend, and managed to survive that. I don't see how anyone could survive against Bad Company. You just look at those two big hunks. How do you survive against them?
I remember when that match was announced, all the comment section was like, "Rest in peace."
Yeah,
bad,
I
yeah.
left my message at their obituary. I didn't expect to see them in the next training session, so imagine my surprise. But like their determination is second to none. I don't think they would ever quit, and like they're like the biggest foil to Showtime Inc.
Yeah, but
ever.
is it enough for Showtime Inc? Because we know they are great in the ring, but they also have that edge of deviousness. They'll do anything it takes to win, right? We all know Showtime Inc and their tactics. So can Aussie pull it out?
So I think Aussie is beginning to show like a more edgier side. They're starting to adapt to Showtime Inc. I mean, they've already used weapons up against them. They've also interfered. So it's just like, they're adapting to their antics. It's not necessarily them being a bad guy, but it's more like, okay, we're just tired of you. We're gonna beat you fire with fire. That's what we're gonna do. We have enough of it.
So your prediction is Aussie, is what you're saying. So I think I'm hearing you say,
I mean, okay, so it's the first time we're doing like a false count anywhere match. I think that's like the stipulation. So I think it's an unpredictable field. No one knows what's gonna happen. What Showtime Inc. is gonna pull out, what Aussie is gonna pull out. So it's gonna be a first for everyone. So it's like a pretty hard thing to predict this kind of matchup when it's a new thing for everyone.
Is this stipulation in reference to the name of the event settled outside? Can we see the false count anywhere spill out of the venue, perhaps?
I wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe like you go someone like late to the show, they're going up the staircase or something. Then suddenly they see a whole match going on. It would be a pretty big surprise.
Then the audience, how? Are we gonna like follow them outside, watch the match outside? What's going on? Unless
it's
there's
the
a
first
video
match
feed.
where you have to run along with the wrestlers in order to see what's happening. Who knows what's gonna happen?
This is like next level performance art, you guys.
Yeah,
I want to see it.
For those who are unaware, this event is not happening at your usual home base, right? At Tampines, right?
Yeah, this is not Gymcraft.
No. So we're gonna be moving the ring into for a one-time thing. It's gonna be a one-time thing. So it's like Fight Club 3 if you guys been there before.
Yep.
But instead of a mat, we're gonna move the whole ring. We're just moving the whole ring to a new location. It's at Kallang.
Yeah.
So it's a performance studios. It's called Performance Studios in Kallang. So that will be our venue for this event.
Honestly, I'm quite excited to check out this venue and this new environment. Perhaps.
Oh, the venue is great. Yeah, the venue is great.
What do they usually do at this venue? Because I'm looking at the logo. There's like a video camera. So is this like a sound stage or place where people shoot videos?
I think it's like a studio. It's like a studio, yeah, that you can, use it for stuff. Now we're gonna use it for a pro wrestling show. So it's a good space. Yeah, it's a good space.
Can use for music video, Mr. Young, in the future. If you want to do
music video, sure. When you drop your next fat beat, and maybe we borrow a ring somewhere, and then we do it in the ring.
Maybe you just do it on the night itself. Like you guys are welcome to come in.
Sure. After you win the championship, we can have you in a shot. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
There you go.
To join in.
Okay, talking about championships, let's talk about main event. Big Dave, of course, is the GrappleMAX openweight champion. He is defending against DJ Cal. It's been a while, I feel, since we've seen DJ Cal, huh?
Yeah, he has also been on a bad string of luck. He had like COVID.
Yeah.
Then like he couldn't make the practice for a while, but he's finally getting back into it. He's finally getting to training now.
Yeah, and I hear he's been super busy as well. So my question is, I know he was sort of the up and comer all the way back to when we did that event at the NBS where he won the NBS tournament, right? And then, like you mentioned, Jordan, the string of bad luck. Is this sort of his redemption arc? Like he's finally back up there at the main event going up against Big Dave?
I mean, it's obvious that he has something to prove. I think he has a giant chip on his shoulder, especially when he had to miss out on like that gold standard tournament last year due to COVID.
That was a shame.
Yeah, I think everyone was looking forward to it. So like the fact that he managed to come back from all that and also managed to beat against Hotshot, I think it was like for the #1 contendership. He managed to do all that and finally get himself back into the main title card, like into the main championship scene. I think that's great. I think he's like one of the OGs. He has my respect.
Right. But going back to him being super busy recently, do you think his focus is split? Going up against someone, a veteran like Big Dave,
I mean, you can't have your focus elsewhere if you want to have that championship mentality, You have to straight focus. It's just one focus, which is beating the guy. That guy is Dave. And Dave is like, he's like the biggest threat.
Yeah.
He's like, So I don't know what his mentality is going into the match, but all I can say is that if you want to beat the guy, you have to be on the straight and narrow. You have to focus.
Foreign, you were saying something just now.
Yeah, I was saying for a long time, right? Cal was considered like an ace of GrappleMAX because like he was like one of like the new generation, beyond the OGs. Like he was kind of like the next level of like the top guy. Do you feel like he still has it in him to be the top guy, or do you think his time has passed him by and like this new generation, like including you and all that, has taken over?
I think it would be pretty arrogant of me to say that, oh, he's past his prime. I don't think I can say that, especially when he's in the main title scene. But like, I would say that his best years are probably, behind him.
There you go.
I mean, but like, it's like that scary vet that has years of experience under them. It's like he will always remain a threat. But in terms of being the ace of a promotion, I have different definitions of aces.
Right. I feel like we can clip that little last like 30 seconds out and then present it to DJ Carl, and there's your next few. There's your next issue.
I mean, you have guys like Hotshot saying the same thing. Oh, he's old. He's past his prime. Maybe Hotshot is the new ace of the promotion now. Maybe that's what he wants to go for.
Okay. Interesting. Do you see yourself going up against DJ Cal at some point in the future? What kind of match that could be? The potentials there?
I mean, the floor is open to everyone,
Sure.
I would take on heavyweights. If that's what you want to challenge for the cruiserweight title, I'm down for it. Heavyweight, whatever weight. Even though the main belt is an open weight, like I'm also willing to throw it down with anyone.
Right.
Nice.
So, okay, from what I'm hearing then, it's sort of a foregone conclusion Big Dave is going to retain?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I wouldn't discount Carl. I mean, Carl, it's like, I think he still has a giant chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He's still going to be gunning for that title. I think he wants to prove everyone wrong.
Right.
I mean, I don't think that big trophy he won at Marina Bay Slam is like, big enough to satisfy him. I think he really wants to aim for that shiny new title that everyone's seen is super great.
Yeah, I love it. Beautiful.
And I think it will look great on Carl as well.
I'm trying to get Jordan to commit to an answer, but he quite a slippery fella. He's trying. No, but no, maybe.
It's hard. Okay, this main titles is probably one of the most. It's like super unpredictable. I would say it's one of the more unpredictable ones. In contrast to mine, which is super predictable, I'm going to win.
Right.
This one is. I don't know. It could go either way.
I mean, talk to us about Big Dave. Is he somebody? I mean, obviously, if he remains champion, he will be one of the guys you are gunning for in the future, right? But how much have you worked with him, and what are your thoughts on the guy?
Yeah, so Dave has been an amazing coach. I think he serves as like an inspiration to everyone in GrappleMAX. Just shows what you can do when you focus on something, and he just managed to achieve it. He's a great coach. He's willing to take on the reins of being like the guy in the locker room.
Right.
He's like basically the locker room leader. And for every new guy who has questions or is very unsure, he's always like the first one to be there. He's always going to be the guy to like answer any question that you have. And I think he has been a great coach and also a great wrestler.
Awesome. Interesting story about Big Dave, right? Because recently I saw him on Instagram. He's been posting photos of him and his other half doing like acro yoga, which is what I'm into, right? Is this a form of yoga that's a little bit more acrobatic? You hold your partner up in poses and stuff like that. So I talked to him about, hey bro, you also doing the acro yoga? And the more I thought about it, it's like there are a lot of similarities, because in acro yoga, a lot of what you learn is trying to balance another person's weight up, right? And I'm like, so that's basically pro wrestling without the slamming part, without the dropping part. You just hold them up in a beautiful way, but you don't go and slam them down. So
I think I've seen that. It's impressive. Yeah, the thing.
It's a lot of fun.
Just hold him.
Yeah, and I'm like, actually, Big Dave would be a really good sort of base, as it were, what we call the base, the person doing the lifting. Because he's lifted a lot of people up in his past. Just don't go and slam your partner can already, and you're good to go.
Mr. Young, honest question.
Yeah.
Have you ever even for a split second thought of slamming your partner
Bro,
down.
every time, bro, every time. And then there are certain poses that I post on Instagram, and then people will comment, that one Romero special, bro. That one power bomb potential, bro. I'm like, well,
Do it, Mister Young. You know you want to do it. Just go for it. You have
this is
to
my
commit
wife.
to
This is
it.
my beloved wife. Cannot, lah.
She can take the bump. She can take the bump. It's alright.
Teach her how to protect herself, can already, bro. Protect the neck, can already.
Protect the neck, already. Thanks, bro. Bro, y'all are trying to get me divorced. Is that what's up? Come on, man. Come on. All right. So there's the Settle Outside match card. You know, to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed when I heard that Settle Outside was going to be held inside. But considering the heat recently, I'm like, okay lah, Settle Inside a little bit better. Can we just say, who came up with this name? I know we were talking about it just now. Do you know who came up with this name?
I have absolutely no idea. It's part of a marketing team. Someone probably came up with the idea. I know someone posted it on Reddit and it gained like a lot of traction from there, and also news outlet picked up on it. I think everyone was really like happy with the name.
Whoever came up with it, right, tell them he deserves a raise.
Yes.
Tell them.
Yeah, he should probably get a raise, yeah.
This is going to be an annual event. I can see it like on the level of maybe like a, like WrestleMania for the WWE or All In for AEW.
Oh my god, you guys can even do it in Malaysia and they will get it as well.
We're literally settling it outside our island. Yeah.
Exactly. Just, okay, if you ever really do an outdoor event, just don't do it in May. Just not in May, can already.
I think everyone will get a heat stroke if we pull that off.
Yeah, man.
Sure. Oh my god.
Is there still tickets left available for those who are curious or haven't decided to go yet?
Oh yeah, so I think early bird just ended. So if you haven't bought it, sucks to be you. But we still have.
I love it.
We are very close to sold out. We are so close to sold out. There's like less than 10 tickets left. So less than 10 tickets left. You can buy it at settleoutside.pietix.com or just go to our Instagram. There's like a link to it. You can check it out. Just go and buy. We already have our sold out graphic ready. It's just when are we going to release it this week?
Got it.
Right.
You know, but what's very cool is like, so this, of course, you're pre-recording this, but this will air live on Tuesday lunchtime. So whoever is watching it right now, please check it out. Consider signing up. Clear those 10 tickets, man. All you Kick to the Gut listeners, finish it up, and see you guys there as well.
And also, it's like a Saturday night. Bell time is going to be 4:30 p.m. By the time it finishes, everything is going to be over before 7. So you can still go out, party, and celebrate. I know I'm going to go out and celebrate with my new title. So, yeah, it's a good time. You have nothing to do in the afternoon. Come and watch our wrestling show.
So where is the after party going to be, and how many girls are going to be there?
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm just going to go around Singapore, I guess.
Oh, okay. I guess that's more of a showtime thing, but actually, to your point, talking about like bell time being 4:30, right? I remember usually the GrappleMAX events are usually in the evening after dinner. This one is before dinner. Was this a conscious effort? Like, okay, let's do something before dinner so everyone can go and enjoy their weekend, sort of a idea.
It's a combination of like, we're outside, so we want to end it earlier, and also we have to tear down the ring and also bring it back to our usual place.
Makes
so
sense.
yeah, okay, so maybe there won't be an after party for me.
Must tear down first.
Must help out, yeah. So
after party after the tear down. That one.
Yeah, after party.
Here we go. Okay, so what do you want to say to the people who have been with you on this journey, who have been, yes, your fans who have been chanting the Oppa, but now that maybe they know you a little bit better, what do you want to say to those who have supported you through this wrestling journey?
So I'm happy that you showed support for every single person out there who shouted Oppa at me or chanted it. I just want to say that I really don't care about that. I just... you can show support, like whatever, but like in the end, to me, this is still a competition. This is still me gunning for that championship title. You can do all those chants to Christian for all I care. He's the sort of person that would get power from that kind of thing. I don't need it. I just need myself. I'm independent that way.
I love the alignment shift that is.
It's not an alignment shift. I don't get why people say I'm the bad guy. It's just a mentality that I have.
Sure.
But you're welcome to support me. You're more than welcome to still chant it at me, but I'm not gonna acknowledge it. This is not a tribal chief acknowledgement moment.
I love it.
I love it. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Oof. 5 years. I think I'm still gonna be holding on to the title.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
5 years, yeah, that's still a pretty short time. Who knows? Wrestling is always full of unpredictable moments. Maybe I'll go overseas to see what the wrestling scene is. Maybe I'll also dominate the local wrestling scene. Who knows? There's so many promotion out there, so many opportunities to be had. It's just really like what's gonna happen. I'm just going to see what happens.
Nice.
There you go.
Awesome.
Jordan, thank you so much for spending your Sunday with us. I know,
Thank you so much.
I appreciate the time. It's Sunday. You need to go and do your family things, do whatever you need to do. So we're going to let you go. Once again, Jordan, thank you so much.
Oh, sorry. One more thing.
Yes, go.
Still, I have to promote like GrappleMAX and stuff. So like follow their Instagram. Go check out the show first.
Yes.
And then go check out their Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything. Yeah. Just buy the last remaining titles. And also we're gonna have our next show after this will be a house party in July.
Okay.
So go check that out.
Yeah,
Our last house party was a huge success. So come join this one as well.
I love that you guys are putting up so much more, stuff, events, and not just wrestling events too, like the stuff you guys did before, like the training sessions, try pro wrestling for the first time. I wish I could have been there, but hopefully I get to go to the next one. Maybe I'll learn to take a spear properly. The next one.
We should hope so. Mr. Young.
Take another one. Yeah, definitely take another one.
Jordan, once again, thank you so much for being here. Have yourself a great weekend, and we will see you at GrappleMAX Settle Outside. May 20th, go get your tickets if you haven't already. Just check out GrappleMAX's Instagram page. Like they mentioned, links are right there. All the information is there. Boom! Foreign, do you want to jump in with any last words here?
Oh yeah, but whatever it is, bro, don't settle outside. Settle inside peacefully. But we sure hope, Jordan, you'll come out with the title. All the best, man.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Hey, no worries. Jordan, thank you for being here. As always, it's Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Take care.
Let me see you try.